Hi, this is the bad boy, Joey Janela, and you're listening to the Going In Raw podcast. Joey Janela always goes in.
This is the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, and you are listening to Going In Raw.
Hey everyone, Kenny Omega here. In case you didn't know, we have an awesome kick-butt show called Steve and Larson's Going In Raw, and they're going to be supporting AEW every week amongst many other things. Goodbye and smooch. Good night. Bye-bye.
Hey, Friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome back to Going In Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you can be listening to right here at youtube.com/Steve and Larson, available wherever podcasts can be found, and of course taped live at the Twitch, twitch.tv/Steve and Larson. This weekend, this weekend we do have something going on, or rather you have something going on at 7:30 p.m. Pacific, 10:30 Eastern. Larson will be doing, Sunday. Larson will be doing his Royal Rumble punishment, live streaming to, one really bad movie just from the looks of it. Although maybe, didn't you say General Commander got a really good review?
Had really good ratings on Amazon Prime Video. However, basically every movie I look at on Amazon Prime Video generally has pretty good ratings. I think even Avengers of Justice had sound ratings.
Yeah. So for your punishment, you're going to be watching Steven Seagal in the action movie General Commander.
Well, let's not leap to any conclusions about it being an action movie. Let's wait and watch it.
He's a commander in general. Then, of course, after that, it'll be time for the epic, the sci-fi opera masterpiece, way ahead of its time, Star Trek: The Motion Picture, where the crew wears like beige pajamas, and
they look really comfy though.
They go after V'ger.
I don't remember. It's been probably 30 years since I've seen it. So to clarify, Farce Wars, 3 stars, 3 out of 5.
Wow, 3 out of 5. Wow,
above average. That's pretty good for a movie of that caliber.
Yeah, absolutely.
I feel like
V'ger. There you go. RAD. Thank you. So I might pop in from time to time if I can. I don't like, given that we're gonna do it via Amazon Prime. I might just pop in via chat. Just like come in and. But man, I love the motion picture. I love Star Trek: The Motion Picture.
See, I like how for the longest time you're like, oh yeah, I can't wait to watch a movie with my best friend, and now you're like, yeah, I don't know if I can make it.
Well, it's a Sunday night. It's like really late and stuff. It's past my bedtime.
Disregard. Let's talk about AEW.
Okay,
so I thought it was a fun show. I thought it was a really fun show.
The Rhodes are getting their own. The Rhodes are getting their own reality show.
Yeah, it appears that way.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's good for them.
That's great. I'll watch that. That'd be great. I'll watch that before I watch Elevation or Dark.
Wow.
It seems like they're sort of reloading their storylines. I mean, last week was a pretty big week with that Thunder Rosa Britt Baker match, and so it just sort of feels like there was some new things being set up tonight. Moving on now. I mean, after months and months of Team Taz and Darby Allin and Sting doing their thing, they're sort of moving on to a new feud for those guys. Mm-hmm. There was a brief Team Taz thing. Cody is moving on from 1 week with Penta to what is sure to be an epic rivalry with QT Marshall.
Yeah, that one might actually last 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm. And then, we got to see the Pinnacle in action.
I got to say that so last night on Impact, Kenny and Don Callis had a really long-winded promo that really didn't say a whole lot.
They didn't say anything, yeah.
And I thought tonight was a good comeback for Kenny because I thought his match against Matt Sydal was fantastic.
Oh, it was really good, yeah.
I thought the promo bit with the Young Bucks was really damn good.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of finally kind of really, with basically no ambiguity, really pushing forward that aspect of the story they're telling with Kenny and AEW. So I thought after last night, kind of a lackluster episode of Impact for Kenny Omega, I thought tonight on Dynamite, he hit a home run, man.
Because they kept it to the point. They kept it impactful, if you will. And
they kept it personal. It was personal.
Yeah, it was good. He laid out his, hey, I'm here with you guys. I didn't come here Because, I could have gone to, I love when they reference WWE as New York. I could have gone to greener pastures, New York. I could have
stayed home. I know.
In Japan. But I decided not to come to AEW. I came to the Young Bucks. I came to see what your vision is. And instead of sitting with the cool kids, you decided to hang out with Turd over there, Brandon Cutler. Brandon loses a lot, loser. And what's going on? So Too Sweet Me Brothers. And then they went, And
then they left, and then Kenny goes to Brandon Cutler. Oh, yeah, go have him shoot some more video for you.
Yeah, go carry their
your
bags.
luggage. Great.
Rude.
Yeah, I don't know. It seemed like Kenny on AEW's got this more crazed type thing going that I really wasn't gathering from Impact so much,
I am curious to know, and who knows if we'll ever find out or not. And I'm not sure. I doubt there's any, I think things are probably cordial, but I do wonder if there are creative, if there are differences in the approach to, how he's presented on Impact versus AEW.
Oh, yeah.
I don't see why there would be, but it is kind of interesting.
I don't. Sorry, go ahead.
I don't know if I see necessarily much of a difference, to be honest with you. I just think last night they were given a lot of time and they didn't have much to say.
That could be.
And so it just seemed sleepier.
Yeah, it did.
When they say, hey, how long do you guys want? Well, we want a good 5-minute segment so that we can, it might have been 7.
And then Scott D'Amore's like, all right, get 15.
Yeah, well, they know what a draw is. They know, hey, we got Kenny Omega on our show. He's going to cut a promo.
That didn't really pan out for the ratings yesterday. Apparently, it's the worst ratings Impact's had since December.
So the novelty has worn off. There hasn't been, to be honest, maybe it was supposed to accomplish a goal, and that's, get more eyes on Impact. And then at that point, it's up to Impact to move their own needle.
To run with the ball, yeah.
And as we've seen, it isn't exactly. We love it. I love Impact because it gives us a vehicle to hang out with the friendos, shoot the shit. If there wasn't that, obviously we weren't covering it beforehand as on a regular basis. When we found out that we could co-stream it, I was like, I'm on board. And then when you found out there's an AEW crossover, Larson's on board, the Enforcer's on board. We're going to do this. And then it just turned into something that was, became a fun time to hang out and not have to worry too much about keeping notes and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's working without working is what it is.
Yeah, I like Impact's a lot of fun just to watch as a wrestling show. That being said, I understand that there's just a ton of wrestling right now. And that's going to take probably in a lot of fans' minds, it's going to be the last priority thing. And Kenny showing up for a 7-minute long promo isn't going to really move the needle much. If he's in a match, it probably would.
Yeah, it could. He's not going to have a match on Impact TV though.
He's going to have one on Impact pay-per-view.
Yeah, pay-per-view. Yes,
as he refers to it.
Impact pay-per-view.
Rich Swann at the upcoming Impact pay-per-view.
That's great. That's
pretty.
Can't
funny.
be bothered to learn what the name is. Anyway, let's get right into it. Show kicked off with Kenny Omega. An eliminator title match. So if Matt Sydal wins, he gets title shot against Matt Sydal. So Kenny kind of made a point on the way out. It's like, oh, you put me on first, huh? While he was walking down to the ring.
Yeah.
So Don Callis joins commentary. I thought this match was tons of fun. I'm happy they mentioned that during the show that Kenny and Matt Sydal have wrestled before.
Yeah.
Excalibur said once in Pro Wrestling Guerrilla. I think he said 2015. And then again in a junior heavyweight match.
Well, that was the one
in New Japan.
2015.
2015,
I think.
okay.
Yeah. This was tons of fun. It was one of those where Sydal, man, especially there was the pin. Which one was it? I forget. It was towards the
last
finish.
near fall that Sydal had on Kenny.
Oh, how was that not 4? That wasn't even 3. That blasted past 3 into 4 territory. But he was able to kick out of it. But yeah, so the finish saw Sydal. Let's see here. So Sydal, I don't know if this is his. I know typically he does his 450 for the finish, right?
Shooting Star Press.
I'm sorry, the Shooting Star Press. That's right. But he had that really cool looking whatever it was to sort of
the lightning spiral thing. Yeah.
to kick off sort of the finish of the match. He got 2 for that. He goes up for a Meteora. That's countered with a buckle bomb. These V triggers were fierce. And there was like 1, 2, 3. I think there were 3 or 4 altogether. No, there were 4 altogether because he gets 2 with a V trigger, a second one, then an attempt at a one-winged angel. That was countered into a poison Rana. Sydal goes up. Omega knocks the ropes. Omega hits a V trigger, but with Sydal sitting up on the top turnbuckle, goes for a one-winged angel, but Sydal grabs the ropes, tries to roll him up for a 2.
That was super close. That one was close.
That one was the close. Yeah, that was the close one. And then a V trigger and then a one-winged angel for 3. I might have missed a couple things, but that was the gist of it.
That was the gist.
Absolutely terrific match between these two.
Yeah. Hell of a match. I think a match so good even Dark Dank Lucha might appreciate it.
Maybe. No Lucha in it, dude. No Lucha in it. He likes the Lucha.
After that, Alex Marvez interviews John Silver, asks if he's ready. He says he is ready. He's jacked. He's screaming. And Uno says, all right, let's show how ready he is. And so everybody kind of in turn tries to do coffin drops on John Silver, and he would avoid.
They're just trust falls, though. They're just falling backwards. Much. They're just trust falls. Yeah.
So then Hangman Page walks in. He asks John Silver, hey, you nervous? And Silver's like, no. And Page says, hey, all these guys, they'd be proud of you either way.
And really, he's saying, I'll be proud of you either way. Because he's back there the whole time prepping while they're doing this silliness, and he's getting a kick out of it. I really like this. That is one breath of fresh air that AEW brings is, they seem free to do things like this where you can develop Hangman's character while he's just friendly with the Dark Order.
They do a really good job of telling stories based primarily just through interpersonal relationships.
Yeah.
They do that better than anybody.
Yeah, I'll agree with that completely. After that, we had Hangman Page's match that he was getting ready for. It was against Cesar Bononi. The gist of this match, Hangman Page using Cesar's size against him because he is a big dude, but he ends up winning pretty quickly with a buckshot lariat.
Yeah, this was not a long match.
No.
He celebrates on the stage with a couple of beers. After that, Lance Archer promo talks about how he used to look up to Sting. He says, without the icon, there would be no Lance Archer. But why would he interrupt the icon,
the Stinger?
And he says, well, it should be my time. And he gets a bat. He says, this bat used to mean people were paying attention. Now, time for people to pay attention to Lance Archer.
Yeah. The Murder Hawk.
Apparently, he's coming after Sting.
Murder Hawk
Monster.
There you go.
Did you ever order that shirt of his?
Yeah, remember? I forgot to do the soft style. It came in.
That's why
I'm going to wash it. I'm going to wash it. I'm going to try it. And if I hate it, I got to get the soft style. I really want that
Wash it, and then regardless, cut the sleeves off. That'll instantly make it more comfortable.
Well, yeah, we'll see. I have a lot of sleeveless shirts. I got a lot of sleeveless shirts.
Well, summer's coming up.
I know, and I might do that. But the thing is, even like the cardboard shirts, even with the sleeves off, they're really not. I'll just do a giveaway.
Gosh, he used to do this. Like Shawn Michaels, where he used to have the shirt, but he used to cut the sleeves off and the entire side of the shirt. So it's virtually like he's wearing a smock.
Yeah, but dude, skin in contact with that material is not comfortable at all.
I'm trying to find a way for you to salvage it in some respect.
Honestly, the only thing I can really do is cut out the front and like put it up on my wall over there. I mean, there's no room on the metal vest. That thing is loaded.
You could tie a bunch of knots in it and make it a toy for Gypsy.
Oh, but then it'd be ruined.
You guys can play tug of war.
That'd be ruined.
Well, at least it's getting some use.
Yeah. I don't know. I got to do something. I'll stitch it. I'll stitch it to my chair back here. Anyways, what?
Right,
so when I do this, you can see him right there.
No one sees it.
No, yeah, because I do this. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, right here.
Oh, gotcha. I thought you meant the back of your chair, where no one would see it, at least on camera. Only you would see it when you walk in.
Yeah, I stayed up till like 1 o'clock doing this. By the way, watch. Look I got all the shirts back there.
That's good.
Like with all the logos in view right there.
Visually, it looks good.
I know, right? No, it's not actually organized, by the way.
That's why I said visually it looks good.
Visually it does, but it's still a mess. It's just deceptive.
Visually it looks sharp.
So afterwards,
anyways, back to the show.
Yeah,
yes.
Tony was supposed to interview Britt Baker very quickly, though. She just took the mic. And
this was great, though.
And she delivered a really great promo. I mean, she deserved the night off, basically, after dropping this promo. It says, Thunder Rosa should be grateful to be associated with me, part of the history I wrote with my own blood. But then you have the audacity to stand there in my company, in my division, to say you put the women on the map? Then why is it, because they had replayed that, they did like a recap of it. Then why is everybody talking about me? And I don't need the experts and professionals telling me I'm the best. Foley, thanks for the thumbs up, but it took you 20 years to become the hardcore legend. And I had a moment of clarity sitting there with my face just, covered in blood. Tony Khan is looking around for the latest legend. You have your latest legend standing right here. The letters AEW come second to the three most devastating letters in pro wrestling, DMD.
Well, I like the Foley thing. She's like, thanks, Mick Foley, for the thumbs up. Says it took him 20 years to become a hardcore icon. It took me one night.
Yeah, it was very sarcastic. I mean, the funny thing is, I don't know, dude. The blood obviously, left the biggest impression. Regardless, because I think back on that match, I'm like, man, Britt Baker was so good. Thunder Rosa did a great job, but Britt really got the shine because of the blood and the picture. Yeah, the thumbtacks. The pictures that came out afterwards were so beautifully shot.
Britt knows. She knows how to sell and give photographers an opportunity to capture a moment. It happened when she busted her nose and she's bleeding all over the place.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, this is something.
She knows where the camera.
She knows.
She knows where the TV camera is, and she knows where that still camera guy is.
She knows where that red light is.
Smartest.
And she knows how to sell it.
The smartest. Anyways, let's talk about some more smart people, Larson, because I want to give a shout out to our latest patrons at patreon.com/Stephen Larson. We got Carlos Lopez, Patchy Beard, Alex Salada, For Real, and Ashran Music, and also Evil Rolo, and Friendo Club for Life tier, keeping it extreme. And at the Friendo Club for Life tier, Larson, you get, we don't push this nearly enough. I spent 2 years drawing this damn comic book, this amazing full color Going In Raw comic book right here, featuring
it's a story that can only be told in the pages of a comic book. It costs $3 billion to make it into a major motion.
Look at that.
See, there's a flying eyeball.
It's a picture of you right there, and then on the other side, a picture of me. You can color that in, do whatever you want to do with it. It's great. It's a Going In Raw comic book, but that's not all you get. You also get, and this is at the $20 tier, right?
Yeah.
One $20 pledge gets you that comic. It gets you stickers. Look, the old school Going In Raw sticker, although I think I
don't use that anymore, but you can still get the sticker.
Yeah, these days I also drop in one of the glow-in-the-dark ones.
Nice.
I got our faces that you always see in the live reaction stuff right here and in the emotes right there. For a limited time while they last, I got these tattoos, the Friendo Club tattoos.
I had to wear those on my neck for a week after I lost WrestleMania predictions last year.
This comes in the $20 pack. And then also the Wolfpack Friendo Club, red Friendo Club sticker comes in the $20 pack.
That looks like a thick vinyl sticker.
And finally,
once you put that on, you ain't getting it off anything.
Look at this. It's an 8x10 of two best friends.
You still have some of those that we signed?
Look at that. Yes, I do. I got a couple. I got to drop some more off at your house so you can sign them as well. And then, so that's at the Too Good Me Brother tier. That's $20. Yeah. At the $50, for $50, you get all that I just showed you. Plus, look at that. A hologram glittery Friendo Club sticker and
so futuristic.
The piece de la resistance.
Exclusive.
Look at that. It's the Friendo Club shirt with exclusive. The teal and the
orange,
amber, orange, whatever that is.
Coral. Is it coral?
Maybe. I don't know what it is, but it looks like $1 million right here. And you can get that for $50, but just for $20, you get all that other stuff that I just mentioned right there at patreon.com/Stephen Larson. And for $5 lousy, you get access to all our bonus stuff 3 days a week, live shows, and then we're going to start doing movie clubs once a month where we chill out, watch a movie together, exclusive to Friendo Club TV members right there at patreon.com/Stephen Larson. Of course, Friendo Club TV, all that bonus The bonus episodes I was talking about, you can also get by throwing us a Twitch at twitch.tv/Steven Larson, or by hitting us up with a YouTube channel membership at youtube.com/Steve and Larson. So thanks very much to the new patrons. We appreciate it.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Back to AEW. So next we had a Christian Cage interview. So it set up, he's chatting up Varsity Blondes and Dante Martin. Dasha walks up, asked what they were talking about. And he says, we were just talking shop. They have a huge match coming up. I know a thing or two about tag team matches, so let's give them some advice. And then Frankie Kazarian enters, and he starts giving Christian some shit. He's kind of joking around.
Yeah.
They've wrestled in TNA probably countless times.
Oh, yeah.
And Kazarian's talking about, hey, I was first AEW tag champ. I've beaten everybody they put in front of me pretty much. And so then he asked Christian, looking at his shirt, which says outwork everyone, he asked him, so when does the work actually start? And Christian says, are you turning into Cranky Frankie now? So I wonder if this is something that some inside thing or something from TNA.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Be, yeah.
He says, the work starts next week. And he's like, I don't have an opponent. What say you? You want to wrestle? Frankie accepts. And he goes, I know you're not doing anything Monday night, so come on over to Elevation. Watch my match there on Monday.
And Christian was like, that ain't in my contract, bro. I'm not going to watch Elevation.
You see my contract that says AEW Dynamite Superstar.
He was like, Elevation. What do I look like? The Big Slow? Get out of here with that. After that, we had the Pinnacle Brewing Company versus Dante Martin and Varsity Blondes. This is a fun little match here. Face has got the upper hand.
Let me ask before we get to the match. What did you think of the Pinnacle's Tron? It's very 80s. I liked it.
Yeah, it was. I'll be honest with you, man. Like every time, like AEW is chock full of like the Envato stuff. And when I've already seen stuff like that, it just like, it's like, oh, well, I can do that. I mean, it's still miles ahead of what WWE does. WWE is like the worst. WWE's so like, they're so crap with their Trons.
Awful. The worst. Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins, just their names. They cross over in front of each other. It was awful.
Yeah. But
it didn't make any sense.
Here's the thing. WWE is so bad that I don't even acknowledge it. AEW's is much better, but because I know where it's coming from, like I've literally seen some of their Tron stuff at the same place we go to.
Yeah, I know.
And I'm like,
I'm not saying I'm impressed by it.
I know what that is.
It looks decent.
I like that, they got the private jet shot in there.
It's just like very 80s. I had like kind of like TV scan line stuff going on.
Yeah, I like scan lines. Everything with scan lines looks better. You know who does a killer job with that kind of stuff? You know who they should get? Whoever produces, whenever Deadlock, the podcast, whenever they release another one of their
montages they do are great.
Oh my God. I don't know who's editing that stuff, but it's amazing. It's so beautiful. They should hook up. They should, get in contact with the Deadlock editor, get them to do their stuff.
That's a good idea.
But anyways, yeah. Now this is a fun match. Faces get the upper hand, attempt some like topes or suicide dives or something. Wardlow stands in their way, so they're like, nope. And then the Pinnacle regroup during picture-in-picture. But moments after the commercial break, Pinnacle end up getting the win with a C4 from Spears on Pillman, I think.
Like during that commercial break, they just isolated Pillman and just wrecked him.
Yeah. And then to continue that thread, once they win, Wardlow attacks Pillman with like his finish, that knee strike thing, and then just chucks him out as Tony comes in for an interview. And then I think you have more detailed notes on this interview.
All right, very well. So Cash is first. He grabs the mic, says Pinnacle isn't just a name or a group, it's a family. He says, I don't have a wife and kid wait for me at home. I have these men, and I die for them. And then Dax is next. He says LAX, Santana Ortiz have done well for themselves, but they don't have FTR fooled. He says this isn't SNL. This isn't a rom-com. The marquee says professional wrestling. If you want to come for the pinnacle of professional wrestling, you come to AEW. MJF is next. Says he would have thought Jericho would come out to be breaking the walls down, but the only thing he's breaking right now is whatever chair he's sitting in. He calls out the inner circle. He's like, oh, yeah, they're not going to be here. And Tony Schiavone's like, oh, come on. You decimated them last week. And then Wardlow and MJF get right in his face. And he's all, never mind then.
It's like, yeah, maybe best not to pipe up there, Tony.
Exactly. So MJF kind of concludes, says, so when you're at the pinnacle, you're always on top.
That is, I mean, factually true. The pinnacle means you're on the top.
The very top. The very top. Yes.
So it's funny because Tony then says, he has a great segue. He says, well, this team seems like they're working well together, unlike Team Taz. Let's see what they have to say.
Yeah,
and so it's like, it's Team Taz. They're standing in front of like a chain link fence, and Taz is addressing the rumors of their discontent.
The whole time Brian Cage is like fidgeting, looking down.
And so Taz is like, hey, oh, there's no problems in this group here, hey. And I got news for you. Brian Cage over there apologized to the group for saying that Sting is still an icon. He even apologized directly to Ricky Starks for saying he was wrong. And then Taz goes, hey, Will Hobbs, how you doing? And Will Hobbs is like, I'm doing great, Taz. And then he's like, Hook, how you doing? He's like, I'm good. Ricky, are you great? And he's like, absolutely. And then he's like, oh, Brian Cage, how you doing?
Who better?
Yeah, it was like the most deflated who better, right? So yeah, things seem a little tense there in Team Taz.
You got that right.
They might need a little bit of a alone time away from each other, perhaps.
You got that right. And after that, we had a QT Marshall interview. He's talking about, essentially, he's frustrated that he's Cody's friend and has to live in Cody's shadow. He said, yeah, I've gotten thrown a few bones, but there are some things you don't see. I go out and I run errands for Cody. And while Cody gets to go to the Marriott with his wife, I get to stay behind and work while my wife has to sleep at the hotel by herself, because he talked about his wife earlier.
Okay, so wait a second. Can we just pause there for a second? What was his thing with Allin then?
Well, they had acknowledged his wife on screen, kayfabe wise. So kayfabe, he wasn't married, I think.
Okay, so I'll be completely honest. I was not watching Dark, and I still am not watching Dark. But I thought the idea with that was he was trying to romance Allin, bring her into the family, and she was like spending all his credit card money, right?
Yeah.
But he's been married this whole time, and he's doing this on TV?
Yeah, now we know that, but at the time we didn't know that, because we didn't know if he was married or not at the time.
Okay, so Flats 3 here has a great suggestion. He says, open marriages are a thing, Steve. Very progressive. So do you think, is this like confirmation that he had like an open marriage?
I don't know. All I'm saying is at the time when that storyline with Allin was going on, we didn't know kayfabe that he was married.
So like Frenzy 5-4 says they were both married the whole time. I mean, yeah, she was married too.
Yeah, to Blade.
To Blade.
Yeah.
So, I mean.
And I believe they actually acknowledged that on TV.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyways.
Later, yeah, they did, because Kingston was like, hey, get your situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyways, QT says everything that he does has that asterisk of him being Cody's friend. He said the only way to get out of Cody's shadow, they got to get in the ring and have an exhibition.
I'm sorry. Gold Steel X says, Allie's one of those girls that like romance.
Oh, my goodness. So QT wants to get in the ring with Cody to prove the entire world he can hang with the best. He says he can't make Cody do what he wants, but he can't control what he does. He's not going to go out there and take meaningless bumps if he has to be in Cody's shadow. So Cody walks out. He's got his headset on for being in whatever AEW's version of Gorilla Position is. He's like, I understand the angst. I see what you're going through. And while my heart isn't in it, I'll gladly accommodate you, QT. We can have this match. Heck, Arn can even be the ref. And I said, I know, he says, QT, I know you're going to try to beat me. I got to do what I can to stop that from happening. But I'll tell you right now, I'm not going to hurt you. If I could put on the figure 4, I won't. If I could hit Crossroads, I'm not going to do it.
Well, he says, if I put on the figure 4, I'm going to relinquish it. So I think it means it's an exhibition. If I get this on, I'm going to give it up. If I get you in Crossroads, consider it checkmate in the next move. You know what I mean?
Yes, or to the pin. Yes.
This next part is it grind. Oh man. So what does he say?
Yeah,
next?
This was weird. So he's like, I'll paraphrase. Essentially, he said, when we started this place, I was making some people mad. And he says, in this business, you don't have a whole lot of friends. And QT at the time, you were an acquaintance that became a friend. You might be my best friend.
What? Your best friend? Larson, I consider you my best friend. I also consider my wife, my dog, and Big Jeff my best friend. And when you get older, you don't choose best friend. Like you don't just choose one person. That's weird.
Yeah.
But would never, like, does Cody not have any actual best friends? Because none of this rings true to how you talk to like even an acquaintance, really, but let alone a best friend.
Yeah, you don't do the condescending thing where it's like, hey, we could do this match, but I'm not going to hurt you.
He even said at one point, you made a great assistant, but then you turn into my friend, my best friend. Is Cody that much of a dick that he doesn't actually have any friends? Like, this is what he considers a best friend, a guy who is his assistant. You've done so much. That's what Cody considers a best friend, is who does the most for Cody.
Mm-hmm.
I both
completely transactional relationship.
I love and hate Cody at the same time. This is brilliant. And I don't know if he's self-aware. Do you think Cody's self-aware? Like the creative mind here, Cody Rhodes, the actual man. Do you think he is self-aware of this? Do you think that he's trying to play this character on the up and up? What's going on here, man?
I don't know. And therein could lie the genius, Steve.
I know. It's great.
So he says, yes, let's have the match friend to friend. And that's how the promo ends.
This is a good point, too. Gareth says Cody clearly wanted Tony to announce his match against QT as well. And that's true because he said, okay, Tony, make it official. And then Tony just cut to commercial break. And Cody looked annoyed. I guess Tony's not going to be his best friend because he didn't do what he told him to do.
Yep.
Wow.
After that, a really fun 6-man tag team bout. Laredo Kid, Phoenix, Penta taking on the Young Bucks, Brandon Cutler. The beginning of this was a lot of fun. There's all sorts of crazy stuff was happening. Quality wrestling.
Yeah, it's Cutler was in this match a lot.
He was.
Yeah, and
he had a good showing for himself, too.
He had a really good showing, and it didn't take away from the match at all. Laredo Kid, as always, amazing to watch, and he ended up getting the pin on Cutler after a Spanish fly.
Super Spanish fly.
Yeah. This was. I mean, this was great stuff. I mean, it's hard to break it down, but
it was actually too fast to call.
It totally was.
Except
one of
for
the
Excalibur because he's really good at it.
One of the and it's funny. It's funny because like commentary was very playfully joking with him about that, because he was trying to keep up and it's really hard, and they started laughing because he was doing what he could. There was that vicious looking, what was it, like an apron DDT, I think, that Phoenix ate from, I think, Matt Jackson towards the finish. That was beautiful looking. That was great. Really gnarly.
After the bout, there's more fireworks. Kenny runs out, lays out Laredo Kid with a mic, starts beating him down. And Matt Jackson's looking at Kenny. He's like, what the heck are you doing? So Kenny gets back on the mic, says, I'm having flashbacks. I remember Fyter Fest. He says, I remember you from AAA, which is the closest reference we're going to get to Laredo Kid kicking out of second rope, one-winged angel at 3 1/4.
Oh, it was beautiful.
That was great. So, I remember you from AAA. So he says, I'm recalling 3 years ago when they all had a choice. We had a 12-year friendship. You can even call us family. And he's pointing to, I think maybe it was Nick or Matt's family sitting ringside. And he says, 3 years ago we had a choice. Did I stay home with fans who love me and who I love back? Do I go to Greater Pastures in New York? Where did I choose? I never chose AEW, almost said ECW, AEW. I chose the Young Bucks, the vision we created to make this the best wrestling promotion on the planet. And rather than sit with the cool kids, you chose him, Brandon Cutler. He says, I chose you. You never chose me back. So I'm going to give you one more chance. He throws up a 2 sweet. And he goes, you're either with me or against me. It's now or never. And he talks about Don Callis. He says, I may not agree with everything Don has said, but he's right about you. You don't stand by your friend. You chose Cutler over me. And it's the Young Bucks. Bleh. They leave. And then Kenny tells Cutler, go be their cameraman. Go carry their luggage. And the Lucha Bros hit the ring. They lay out Kenny, follow with their the Lucha Driver finish. And then the Good Brothers run down kind of late. Check on Kenny. He's bleeding from the mouth, and he's selling this like $1 million.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
He's getting up, and he's all, I'm all right.
Yeah.
His eyes are all rolling back in his head. It was fantastic.
It was really good stuff. After that, we had, I believe this is after that, the Jade Cargill video promo. Yeah. So this is really well done. She calls out Red Velvet, punctuates it by saying, when you're standing in this ring with me, you're standing here with a bad bitch. After that, we had, I think this was now the what is it called? Total Rhodes.
Oh, Rhodes.
Somebody had it here.
Rhodes to the top or something like that.
Is that what it is? Keeping up with Cody's family.
No, Rhodes is the name.
What's the name of the damn Rhodes to the top? There you go.
Yeah,
or AD,
Rhodes to the top.
Rhodes to the top.
So it looks like, I don't know, Ms. and Mrs., but it's with Cody and Brandy instead.
Seemingly, like I from what I gather, kind of also, correct me if I'm wrong, I sort of tuned out a little bit. Sort of with like less shenanigans. Like Ms. and Mrs. is like all shenanigans.
It's all scripted situations to get ridiculous reactions.
That's Ms. and Mrs. Did you feel like that's what this is too?
No, I just meant comparing it in terms of a pro wrestling couple.
Right, yeah.
And their kind of inner circle. But yeah, it doesn't seem like to be filled with as many hijinks as Ms. and Mrs. Per se.
But that seems like it's hijinks always.
Yeah, there seems like it's no way an actual representation of Ms. and Maurice's relationship in any fashion.
I'll be honest, Ms. and Mrs. I have never watched it. I think I've seen like little bits and pieces here and there.
I haven't either.
But like it's wild, like from just little things I've seen. Like when he says, what was that thing? It was like supposed to be a gender reveal party, but instead it was a vasectomy reveal party.
Yeah.
What of it? That's more entertaining than anything he's done on Miz TV this year.
Oh, easily.
Like way more. It's probably a really funny show.
I was just watching this trailer and thinking, wow, he got a reality show? And being both shocked and not surprised at all.
Not surprised at all. Not surprised at all. And yeah, somebody here in chat mentioned that this is probably the other hour of tea. This is the other hour of tea. Yeah, Rocco says, so keeping up with the Cody's family was at the other hour of television Tony Khan was thinking about. They have teased this.
Well, he said there was the other hour, the third hour of AEW, and said there was something else they were working on.
There's something else. So this is something else. Which God, it's so great. It's amazing. It's awesome. It's so awesome. But no, I'm pretty sure there will be another actual wrestling show as well. This is the third hour of wrestling. After this, we had Mox and Kingston backstage. Kingston, his leg is in a brace or whatever. It's in a boot.
Cast.
A boot. And he's like, yeah, we got something broke here. He's like, you break one of us, we put you in the morgue. And they're talking to no, who are they talking to? The Good Brothers, right? Yeah, they're the ones who attacked.
I'm kidding, yeah.
And he's like, do you understand the seriousness of this? And Mox is like, oh, there's a war in the streets of Jacksonville. Young Bucks. I don't know them. I don't like playing games with people. I don't know. I don't like owing people stuff. So as you can see here, Young Bucks were playing with live rounds here. So, yeah.
We're totally getting Mox and Young Bucks versus Kenny and the Good Brothers.
That totally would be, yes, that's going to be the thing, yeah.
Totally going to happen. Next, Nyla Rose versus Ty Conti. A heck of a match. A huge win for Ty Conti. They said she's the number one contender right now.
I know. She's been racking up wins on Dark and maybe Elevation even. I wouldn't know because I don't watch that stuff. I've got a Christian type contract where I'm only obligated for Dynamite.
Steve is Dynamite viewer only for AEW programming.
unless that women's tournament. Oh boy, that was good stuff.
That was great stuff.
Yeah.
So before the match begins, the Dark Order comes out shortly behind Ty Conti through the tunnel, stay on the stage, give her the Dark Order sign as a show of support. Bell rings. Nyla immediately has the advantage. And that's until Ty starts stretching Nyla, hits a few judo throws, goes for a corner knee, misses that. She'd hit plenty of corner knees later on, however. After a couple of them, she does hit the hammerlock DDT to get the win. A lot of great back and forth here. Hell of a showing for Nyla, even in defeat. And a absolutely huge win for Ty Conti. Ever since she showed up at even when she was still on NXT, I thought she was improving a lot. She's finding a really good amalgam of her judo background and meshing that with professional wrestling. And I feel like in AEW, she's really progressed from where she was in NXT. And like every time she's on TV, she delivers. She's put on a lot of fun matches.
Yeah, she's getting better. This was a pretty shocking win for her. And yeah, I think it's rad, man. She's getting these opportunities. So after the match, Ty is up there like celebrating, and Vicky grabs her leg. Nyla attacks. Sheeta comes out to make the save with a kendo stick. The bunny comes down and helps Nyla lay the faces out. Matt Hardy then comes out with his crew, gets on the mic, says the women's eliminator tournament was awful because Bunny wasn't in. My clients have been overlooked. That ends today. After that, we had a really cheesy Miro, Kip, Orange Cassidy, and Chuck.
Yeah, they're hyping their Arcade Anarchy match next week.
I was hoping to get a little bit more of like the passive aggressiveness from Miro to Kip, but he seemed to be all in on this match.
He was all very. He actually, like I said last time, out of the ring we're buddies. In the ring, I don't care about you.
Like if I was Penelope Ford, wouldn't you be like, "Hey, I kind of heard what you said, dude," because it was like on TV. But none of that.
Also next week we got Shida and Conti taking on Bunny and Nyla Rose, Kenny and the Good Brothers versus the Lucha Bros and Laredo Kid, Cody versus QT and probably the main event, and Christian Cage versus Frankie Kazarian.
Yeah. Wait, why did you laugh about that?
No, Cody versus QT, the main event, is just cracking a joke there.
Oh, how great would it be if he had his arm still in the sling and
won? Yeah, I know.
Won. Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. Hold on, what do you think? He said, that fool said, I have a reputation here to uphold. I gotta keep my record good.
Oh, Cody.
Oh, man.
Cody.
Then we had a Scorpio Sky promo. Talked about being a bad guy, being screwed a lot. He's the face of Revolution. Hands.
He said, "This isn't a new side of me. This is just a side you haven't seen."
It's a new attitude. It's a new
attitude.
Come on, Scorpio Sky. It's a
just
new
a facet
attitude.
of his attitude we haven't seen before.
Come on, man. It's a new attitude.
No, same attitude, man.
It's an adjustment in his attitude. That's what commentary called it. It's not some hidden attitude he had before. This is a new / adjusted attitude.
Adjustment isn't necessarily a new attitude.
His current attitude has
the existing attitude, changing it a bit, but it's the same attitude. A new attitude is an attitude that comes in and replaces the previous attitude completely.
A replacement attitude. Got it. So we've got the main event now. Darby Allin versus John Silver. This is wildly fun, man. Silver takes advantage early with his look, any Darby Allin match, Darby's not going to have the advantage early. And in fact, he's going to have the advantage about 15% of the match, but he's always going to have the advantage at the very end of the match, and that's what counts here. But this was really fun.
So I think in the spot where probably John Silver gets tossed over the guardrail, apparently he dislocated his shoulder.
Yeah.
That's what Darby said after the show, and then John Silver tweeted something out. Go to Mod Chat. Camp short tonight. Shoulder is messed up. Doctor doesn't think it's too serious, but I'll keep everyone updated once I know. Hopefully it is just dislocated rather than separated, because as we saw with Danny Burch, separated shoulders probably chances are keep you out longer than a dislocated one.
Yeah, with a dislocated one, it's like in Lethal Weapon. They just put it back in, and then you're perfect. You're good to go.
Yeah, I don't know if it works that way, but yeah, I get the point.
This was kind of funny because they had been teasing Sting, who had been like, "Yeah, I'm going to be watching for any shenanigans.
If Darby needs me, I'll be here. But the Dark Order were behaving themselves.
They were fine. They're good. Does Sting not watch Dynamite, or is that not in his contract?
No, he doesn't have to watch the show. He just shows up for his segment and then he gets to go home. Maybe
they were totally fine. From what all I saw was Darby. When Silver went out, Darby comes out and takes out 5 with a suicide dive.
Yeah,
and then Dark Order's like, "Whoa, wait a second, we got to check on our guy." That brings Sting out. The Dark Order's like, "Whoa, there's only 10 of us and there's one of you. We can't take you on."
Well, he's the icon.
He's the
Sting.
Yeah, he is the Sting. So anyways,
I'll tell you what, though, based on how Sting was just kind of hanging around ringside, kind of being somewhat cold.
Yeah,
I thought he was going to whack Darby with that bat after the match.
I thought he was going to annihilate Darby. He was going to destroy him. That'd be great, but probably never going to do that. I don't see Steve Borden wanting to do that. So anyways, yeah, the Dark Order. I do like it. I like also that. So I think you probably mentioned it in the Ty Conti thing, how the Dark Order came out and paid their respects to her because she was buddies and tag team partners with Anna Jay.
Anna Jay, yeah.
And so during this match, Silver locked in the Queen Slayer at one point, which is a cool shout out. I like that they reference that as well. Darby got out of that one. And then the finish, So let's see here. In the ring,
Silver.
Darby eats a bunch of kicks, comes back, a bunch of palm strikes on Silver. He counters with some corner strikes, eats some double boots. A pin attempt gets him 2. Silver goes back up top with Darby, but Darby just sort of shoves off Silver. He, instead of going after Silver, he hits a coffin drop on the Dark Order. He goes back up. Silver meets him, throws him, covers, but Darby's foot, he sort of rolls, he covers him so much that Darby's foot ends up on the ropes.
Yeah, that move that Silver does off the top is like a super rack bomb. That was insane.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. He goes for a power bomb. Darby counters that
with a nod to Brody Lee
to
before
Brody, yeah, and then Darby counters that with a code red for 3. Cool to see him get that the code red win there. And then after the match, Sting gets in the ring. He sort of lifts up Silver. Darby says, "Hey, give me the fist bump." Silver does, and then all of a sudden, Matt Hardy and his crew attack. Dark Order swarm. Sting and Darby fight back. Darby absolutely annihilates Matt Hardy with a suicide dive. Just wrecked him. He needs to. It's like, hey, with these old guys, you need to act like they're 5 years old. Okay, you need to act like they can't really handle you because his suicide dives are intense.
Yeah, they are.
They're so intense.
He wrecked Matt Hardy. So we're gonna get. So we
and
got
then
Lance
Ty Conti
Archer.
comes out and attacks Allin.
Yeah. So we got Lance Archer going after Sting.
Yeah.
Are we gonna get a Matt Hardy Sting match at the Hardy compound?
It's possible, sure. Yeah. I mean, I kind of see like that's how the Sting matches are going to go down.
Mm-hmm.
I could see that. That could be a lot of fun.
That could be.
That could be a lot of fun because Matt Hardy, he's not doing the broken thing right now. But if he starts to dive back into that, you could have a lot of fun with that, with Joker Sting and Surfer Sting.
Yeah, that could be fun.
You could do some Firefly Funhouse type stuff like with Cena. You could do some fun stuff with that. And then I'm sure wherever Archer was today, whatever abandoned facility that was, you could do a cinematic match there too. With Archer and Sting, that could be a lot of fun too. It's like we saw when Archer debuted. He was in somebody's like a backyard wrestling promotion, destroying everybody.
Yeah, that was great.
So you could do stuff like that for sure. And I'd dig that. That'd be great.
Let's answer some questions, yeah?
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
Patrick Oliva thinks it's going to be Hangman and the Young Bucks teaming up since after the last Being the Elite, where Matt Hardy admitted to Matt Jackson that he sent the text from Hangman's phone that said they weren't friends anymore.
Yeah, I wonder. I mean, yeah, could be. Dog Authority figure says, so what happened to Shaq in the ambulance? Will we ever know? Well, I mean, in kayfabe, he disappeared, so we don't know. Out of kayfabe, like there's fan video of him just running out.
Jam on it. Steve will backtrack and warp speed when Blood and Guts happens. Oh, he's already backtracked.
Yeah, I'll figure out a way out of that one. David Matushik, after seeing John Silver main event tonight's episode, what other members of the Dark Order do you want to see in the last match of any AEW event? We got to see a 10 main event, the Brody Lee episode.
Yeah. Let's see Uno and Grayson main event.
When Ty Conti gets her title shot.
There you go. Maz420 says, I popped for Leva wearing a Berserker shirt from Kevin Smith's Clerks.
Here comes... my love for you is ticking clock berserker. Do you want?
Atwood asks, are Darby and Sting going to join the Dark Order?
No, but Darby should really turn on Sting at some point.
Oh, yes.
He's not going to do it. Let's see here. Moses Supposes says, does anyone get knocked out of the ring as good as Darby?
No.
He does it really well. Let's see here. Kelvin Wells II, with Double or Nothing being the next pay-per-view for AEW, do you think there's a chance we can get a second Stadium Stampede match?
Oh, that'd be great.
That'd be fun. Dark Order versus the Hardy Empire, maybe?
That'd be good. Blood and Guts.
No blood and guts.
Blood and Guts. Zoe Conrana says, I think Cody's going to end up Steve's favorite wrestler since he's just Triple H 2.0.
Cody's already there. He's already my favorite AEW wrestler.
Yeah.
Because of all this. Because he keeps me on my toes. He keeps me thinking. Steve Klain, I like that Sydal was able to face Omega tonight. What other matchups would you like to see with AEW that we haven't seen yet?
What matchups in AEW would you like to see? We haven't seen yet.
That's what he liked about it. He said we haven't seen that yet.
Yeah.
I would like to see Phoenix versus
Christian Cage.
Scorpio Sky. Have we seen that before? I don't know.
No, but I know we haven't seen Phoenix versus Christian Cage before.
Brian Cage versus Christian Cage.
There we go.
Hangman Page versus Ethan Page versus Christian Cage versus Brian Page with Diamond Dallas Page as the ref. Damn it. Book it already.
Book it. Zombie Lazarus with the sub. Thank you. Hugh Long Heavy says Conti versus Sheeta is going to be one hell of a match. You got that right.
Yeah, that should be a fun one. That should be a good one. This is good. Gregory Fiella, if Mox and Kingston asked the both of you to do like a real life Grand Theft Auto type heist, would you deny them and not go with them? You get a lot.
Yeah.
You get a lot of time for doing that.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. I got a family, man.
Come on, one last job.
No, for me it wouldn't be the last. Well, it'd be the last, but it'd be the first and the last. I don't want to do it.
One last job. Come on,
I
the
don't need
biggest
that.
payout, the biggest score of your career.
I'm fine.
You know what? I would do it. You know who I wouldn't do it with? Team Taz. They're a disaster.
They are a disaster.
But Mox and Eddie are like a finely tuned machine.
Yeah, but after like 3 weeks of like nearly wanting to kill each other.
Yeah.
Bottom class, it still seems like Nyla needs a direction, but I have been waiting to see more of Allie. Gotta love the awkward long pause before the commercial break.
Let's see here. Flats 3 says, Turner loves Cody more than my biological family loves me.
Adrian C with the sub for 12 months.
Oh my
There's
goodness.
an official year in the Friendo family. How time flies. Tyga with the sub. 4 months for Tyga. Jorge D for Christian's outwork everyone gimmick to make sense. Shouldn't we see him working at every job in AEW? For example, him outworking the custodial staff.
Yeah, him tending to the field there at the stadium. Him, I don't know what other jobs there are. Him working the gorilla position.
Tronin says Stu Grayson tweeted about 30 minutes after Dynamite that Sting needs to chill.
He does. He needs to chill out, man. They weren't doing anything. They're good guys. I agree with that. Anyways, that's going to do it for us today. Twitch chat, stick around. We're going to read some more of your highlighted messages. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We appreciate it. Until next time, we'll talk to you later.
Goodbye.
Help support Going In Raw today by becoming a Friendo Club TV member. You'll get access to new bonus episodes every week, including Friendo Club Arcade, Live Power Rank, Vintage 10 for the Wins, and Ask Steven Larson. Get access to Friendo Club TV today by becoming a $5 and up patron at patreon.com/Steven Larson, by throwing us a sub at twitch.tv/Steven Larson, or by clicking join at youtube.com/Steven Larson.